Video. I got a couple of shout outs I wanted to do. I want to show you a couple of guns I got, stuff like that, show and tell. First thing, I know a lot of you guys watched Pete's video where I went up there and visited him, and I'll tell you, Pete is a great guy. Pete from the Armory channel, he let me come up to his town. We had a great time, him and his wife and Jen and his son Aaron. They treated me like a king, and I just had a great time. I really did. I enjoyed everything, and they treated me so good, I couldn't believe it. And because of our common bond in that sport of eating, me and Pete didn't have any downtime. We were always going. One buffet after another, one deli after another. I didn't make it to Gino's though. And then Pete and I did get in some time to do some shooting and look at some gun stores. As you've seen, we went to Cabela's. That store was amazing. I've seen a lot of people make comments, it's like Bass Pro. It's nothing like Bass Pro. We got a Bass Pro in Myrtle Beach, and they don't come close to Cabela's. Don't come close, and it's one of the biggest Bass Pros around. But they do a lot more in fishing and stuff, whereas Cabela's a lot more in guns and ammo. They had great prices on ammo. I think me and Pete each bought a couple of boxes of 9mm, and it was like $8.99 or $7.99, I forget. It was real cheap though, and I was afraid because it was so cheap, but we shot it and it worked fine. Everything worked fine on it, and looked good. I wish I would have got more now, but anyway, I had a great trip. I wanted to thank Pete, Jen, and Aaron for everything they did for me, and if you guys think Pete's a nice guy, I think it's just really great how these guys have these contests, and they take the time to take all the names and cut them out and put them in a hat and then package something up. I don't care how small an item they're giving away is. I mean, that's a lot of work. You got to think they put a lot of work in that, so that's really appreciated, and I need to do one. And I will try to do one in the future. And then I went over to TripleXFirearmz, and it's spelled like that with the C. And I won this knife, and it's a real nice knife. Got a unique shape to it. It's just some kind of neat little knife here. And I really thank both of these guys a lot, and I think you should take the time and go over there and check their channels out if you would. You never know, they might have another contest, and they make good videos. I mean, they make really good videos. So go check them out if you would, and sub. I'm sure they'd appreciate it, and I'm sure they'd sub back. So check them out. Now, on to some purchases. Well, when I was up at Pete's, he went and bought a Remington 700. If you watched the video, you've probably seen him shooting it. I have a Remington 700, but not the police model. It's just a regular 700 in 308. I was in the gun store the other day, and they had this. And it's a Remington 700, not the police model. It's just a regular old model. No floating barrel or nothing. But I've shot my other one. It's super accurate, I think, for me. And anyway, this is chambered in 223. See, it's empty. I hope you can see, but it's chambered in 223, and I wanted a bolt action in 223 for a long time, and I seen this, and it was $399, so I thought that was a good price. It's used, but this finish they put on here, it's very fragile. I mean, you could scratch it pretty easy, and there's not, I've looked it all over, there's no scratches. It doesn't look like it's been shot, to be honest with you. So for $399, I figured I couldn't go wrong. Then I picked up this bipod for it, and that was about 50 bucks, and then I had bought this Nikon, and it's got the compensator drop inside it. It's a 3x9x40, and it's very clear, and it's very similar to the one that Pete got on his, which I thought it was a real clear scope. I know there's a lot better scopes out there, but for what I'm doing, it'll work fine. And so anyway, tell me what you think about that for $399. I thought it was a pretty good buy. Then I'll pick something else up. There she is. And I hope this is all focusing. There's the old lock, but it's got the Colt insignia on it. Instruction manual. And That's a good thing to take a few minutes to read when you buy a new gun. Especially if you never owned a gun, but even if you have, even if you own a gun, read. Sometimes they change things, especially with the disassembly and reassembly, so take a few minutes. Mike always stressed that in his videos when he was talking about guns. So you take a couple of minutes to do that. It's worth your time. Plus, it's not bad to read. You don't have to read all the safety stuff if you already know it, but the disassembly and reassembly and stuff is good to know. Anyway, this gun has cleared. Safe direction. And this is the lightweight Colt Defender Series 90. And hopefully you can get a shot at that. Hopefully you can see it. It comes with the whole grips. Came with the regular screws on it, and I put these hex grips on it. Hex screws. So I guess that puts me in the gunsmithing category now, because I did that with no problems. Pulled the old screws out and put these in, and they seem to be working fine. And it's got the high-rise beaver tail. It's aluminum frame with a stainless steel slide. And after I bought it, then I did some research. That's usually the way I do things. It's a stupid way. I buy them and then I research them. But went on a couple of websites and stuff where they were talking about them. And guys seem to really like them. Said they don't kick that bad. A lot of you know I have the Kimber Ultra Carry too, and I was putting them side by side. And I think the fit and finish on the Kimber Ultra Carry is better than the Colt. That's my opinion. Now, the disassembly on the Colt Defender is better. You don't need a tool or anything. You just take it back like you normally do, take a 1911 apart, and then when you get it apart, you can push that little piece. It isn't so tough to push it. You just take it right out. So it is a lot easier to take apart. And I really like it. One of the big gripes I have with all the gun manufacturers right now is they only give you one magazine. For God's sakes, guys. That's ridiculous. You know, you're buying a self-defense weapon and they give you one magazine. That's ridiculous. And then you got to go out and spend another $20 to get at least two. And I don't know about you guys, but I keep a minimum of 5 magazines for every semi-automatic weapon I got. I just like to have a couple extra spare magazines. I mean, the gun's no good without the magazine, so I get about 5. So that's one of my purchases. Well, 2 of my purchases. And you guys have any experience with this Colt Defender? Heard anything? Let me know. But I'm going to take it out and shoot it, along with my other 15 guns I haven't shot yet. And I guess that's about it, guys. Like I said, I don't make a lot of videos. I try to make them